Happy Frigeroken. It's Rainbow. I'm back with my hot pads. We're getting artsy. So I have been playing around and I wanted to show you what I have been doing. I have been using my old hot pads to play. So we're working on looking at what we could do for an edge. So here is some of my playing around. So I played with this idea here, which is kind of like a little flower shape. And then I've got strands all over the place. And then I thought, well, what if I went down a strand? Because this is double stranded here. And this is that, oh gosh, that's that yarn that I dyed with the marigolds, that gold. This is hand spun yarn. So I went from a double strand here down to a single to see what that pattern would look like. And that's interesting. What would an end look like? And then I tried this pattern from here to here. You can see that pattern. That's just a single stitch there, getting a little bit fancier here. I like it with that blanket stitch where it hits. I don't know if you can see it real well, but the yarn runs the whole edge versus over here where it's not. It feels like it gives it a really nice finish. So now I have moved on. What does that gold look like on the blue? Not quite. Not as much contrast, but you can kind of see it there. And I'm playing with this really fun stitch on this one. It almost looks like, maybe I need to go a little bit further here, but it almost looks like people's legs and their hands, and they're all holding hands. I was like, ooh, this is fun. I like this. I like this. So I have kind of a ridiculous amount of yarn going on here, but it just adds to it. And I did have a different needle I was using, which is my knitting needle used for like finishing knitting projects. And I wanted a little bit more detail, so I went with this needle here. It has kind of a larger eye hole on it, enough to get yarn through it anyway. And I've got to remember what I'm doing here, so I got to go under this one. See? Ridiculous amount of yarn. And then I pull it like that. And I'm gonna, let's see. Put my needle, I'm gonna push it through backwards so it doesn't snag on the fibers. I go under those two strands. There. And more yarn. Okay. Then it kind of ties those two together. Would have been better if I had more contrast with this part to show you but I'm kind of really liking it. It'll be really fun to see what stitch is picked. Which stitch is picked? So we're going to figure out the edge of it. And I'm having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to cut it out of these sheets. If it's going to be like these. Let's see, this way. The fabric was like this. So you can see that continuation going through the hot pads. Whereas this one and this one, the pattern is going like this. So is it fun to have like two different colors going on? Or fun to have them like side by side? So many choices. That's the neat thing about art, is like the options and the choices you make. It's just like endless, which is maybe kind of a thing. Sometimes you get caught up so much in not knowing what to do, you don't do anything. So this is just a little playtime. It's really fun to get all my fiber arts out for this. And I found a whole bunch of yarn I spun a long time ago. And I found a little pussy with a little felted wool sculptural thing that was so fun to pop across. As well as an unfinished fairy house. So that is this part. Let's see if we got a little bit more of that pattern that you can see. Oh, wonky legs. Doesn't it look like little peoples holding hands? It's dark outside, so we've got the lights on in here, and you can't see real good, but you can see a little. So these are our options, and it's possible I might come across more fun, different designs going on. How to finish that edge. So I wanted to share that, the hot pad update. And I wanted to share, oh, let's see. I wanted to share this with you. Look at this. This is a felted sheet of wool that I was making, and I was actually making this for hot pads. And the idea is that this would go inside sewn fabric, and there would be like a design sewn on the outside, but the inside of that hot pad was wool, because you know how important it is to have wool on the inside of your hot pads. No petroleum products. Have a protein, natural fibers. It's safe. It's safe. So I wanted to share that with you. This was wet felted. I stomped on it a whole bunch in this big vat. I talked about it in one of my videos. Oh my gosh, stomping for so long. Yes. Felted wool. And some of the other things I found is more wool. Here's some white wool. It's not been carded. Here is some of the wool that was dyed with the marigolds. So this hasn't been spun up yet. And it hasn't been carded. You can see like the beautiful locks in there. And this one is neat. You can see the color difference. This one was dyed in this dye pot afterwards. So it's like the second or the third run of that marigold dye. Let's see. That's the same. This, a bunch of little different pieces of wool, all different colors. And so with some of the multicolored yarn that I was spinning, I would take little chunks of this and just continuously change color. Tedious, but fun. Fun. And I found yarn. This is all some hand spun yarn I did. I think this one was like my second hand spun yarn. The first one was like green and yellow. Packer colors. Okay. So it's a short one. A little dip in on the hot pads. Oh, and I want to bring Wicket into it. Does everybody remember the Wicket Awesome Wool Project? Here's some Wicket wool. Angora bunny rabbit wool. So I think that definitely needs to get involved in this sculpture. So fun to dip in on this Friday. Happy Frigo-roken. I hope you're spinning up some wonderful stuff on your end of the world. Huge love, huge gratitude. Until next Friday. Ciao.